This is the In-Laws podcast from 1718 Media. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating if you enjoy the show.
My name is Arthur.
I'm Philip.
And I'm John.
All right, listen, first things first. The Weeknd called out the Grammys. And the way I feel about the Grammys, which I'm not too informed about it, I know they're always pissing somebody off for some reason. But I remember one year, Kendrick Lamar, when he dropped Good Kid, Mad City, he lost like best rap album to like, it was either Macklemore or Iggy Azalea. I can't remember which one.
I was
it
literally
was.
going to say Iggy Azalea. I just remember that matchup.
Yeah, don't fact check that. But I just remember
something ridiculous. Like
that's when they lost all credibility in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so The Weeknd did not receive a single nomination this year in a year where he has literally dominated.
Taken over, man.
Number one song, one of the best albums. I mean, even just his effort, like he has a whole persona that he attached to this album. All his music videos correlate to each other. It's like he worked hard on this album, you know, like everything is strategic, and I feel like he got snubbed, and I don't know why.
Yep. I think he has done better than any artist this year, in my personal opinion, at creating presence around his content. You know, like he has this album, he's got these singles, he's got all this stuff that's going on, but it's like you're almost like following this like live story unfolding on social media, through his music, through each release of a video. Like it's something that like I actually look forward to following him as an artist. It's not just some random rapper showing show pictures or something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I just don't understand, because I see firsthand the absolute unreal like buzz and clout around what he's doing, and to see not even winning, whatever, it's all like freaking rigged anyways, but like not even being nominated, like that's a little
Nuts.
abrasive, man. Like it's a bit obvious.
That's definitely got to be very aggravating as an artist too, to know that it's just a popularity contest pretty much. Because I remember when, I don't know if it was the Grammys or MTV Movie Awards or something like that, but they were expecting like Travis Scott to win New Artist or something, and then like Cardi B won. Everybody was like super pissed. Like everybody knew. And I think like somebody else, when they did win their award, they went up there and they were like, dude, this is just a popularity contest. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like, you know, you already won. I'm pretty sure it was our favorite artist,
Drake.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't understand how these like kind of popularity contests keep like how they keep on going. Like the like Emmys and all those other ones. Like there have been like so many people every single time they're the host that they just kind of call it out. They're like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
You know, you're just here with all your rich friends. What's his name? Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, you guys are just rich people complimenting other rich people and, you know, just patting each other on the back. And it's like he's literally doing that in there. And it's almost like a slap in the face, because they're allowing this stuff to come out, and they're saying like, it doesn't really matter what he says. We're going to do this next year. We're also going to do that the next year after that. And we're going to keep giving out the same awards that we're giving out in the exact same way that we're giving them out. You're going to be mad about it, and you're still going to watch it.
Yeah.
But
I think it's definite. They've definitely like diluted the value of the award, and you kind of see that across the board. You see it with movies too. I from what I've seen, where it's like the real artists don't care about getting it. I think it's the principle, right? Like even with The Weeknd, God, the guy doesn't need a Grammy. Like, come on, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I think it's the principle of the fact, like, look at my numbers, look at my following, look at my social impact and my influence right now. Like, how can you just leave me out of this? It's not even that the dude wants another freaking plaque on the wall. Like, he's gonna get his plaques, he's gonna get his money. That's not an issue. But I think it is. It was the same thing with Drake. It's the same thing I've seen in movies where it's like, why are we just not in this? I just don't get it. Like, why is this still a thing?
Yeah, like if that's supposed to be a credible institution,
Right,
you know,
right.
for these awards, and you're not even being recognized, that can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, does
I-
it? It almost does make sense as to why these artists are so pissed off whenever somebody else wins, and they go up there and they get on the stage and they interrupt somebody that's about to give their, MTV.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Now I know why
Yeah.
Kanye West did that shit.
Yo, like I'm kind of on board.
Yeah,
She did have the
right?
best video, bro. Like,
Beyonce did that video was fire.
But it's like it's funny that he did that, and it was almost I don't remember anybody ever calling out those awards and saying like they're bullcrap, but like he went out there and he did it because he felt a certain way, and that almost gives other people their kind of their influence to go out and do these things, like kind of call them out on their stuff.
yeah,
I think it's definitely been a thing for a long time, especially in hip hop, and it probably has a lot to do with hip hop just being a competitive genre in
Sure.
its entirety. Kind of like rap is just competitive. You always want to be a better rapper than the next guy. Like I know Eminem has won a ton of awards that he's like literally never been there to accept. I don't remember if it was Grammys, probably, but
probably, yeah.
I know Drake has had some problems with them as well, or award shows in general. So he stopped showing up to them. So it's like, I think after a while, unless they get their acts together,
Yeah.
they're just going to lose credibility. If they're not supported by the biggest artists, why would people care anymore?
I think, I guess to me, when I look at it, I'm just like, well, who in the world is deciding this? Like, I get it's some kind of an academy, some organization, some group of people that like,
Probably
why
a
don't
bunch
you
of old
just
white
like,
dudes somewhere in a room.
that's what I'm saying, man. And it's like, it's really interesting. Like why don't they just attach some kind of value to, like when it comes to music, some kind of value to streams, pair that with a certain kind of valuation that you have on views on the music video, pair that with a kind of valuation on that mixed with the album sales that are attached to that scene. Like just have some values attributed to the success of the marketing of that music and the sales and streams of that music,
Yeah.
and to say, look, this was the number one. Like there's no denying
Yeah,
it. You can't
we
say,
don't need people to vote on it. Just look at the numbers.
yeah. Like if you got 40 million less streams, you're not the first one. Sorry. Like you lost, like it just doesn't make any sense. And I know that's why Tekashi 6ix9ine was pissed about a bunch of stuff. And as much of a joke as he can be, I get some of what he's talking about where he's like, this makes no sense. Like in the midst of seeing these charts, I did more. Why am I not there? Like it just, a lot of the voting on it and all that stuff, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Isn't that what that RIAA stuff is? Like when you
What's
go
that?
platinum, you go bronze,
Mm-hmm.
you go double platinum.
Gold.
Isn't that what that stuff is?
Yeah,
Well,
but that doesn't.
That's just for measuring the success. It doesn't.
Right.
It's not enough to win awards, which is kind of what we're saying that it should
Right.
be.
Yeah.
They should. I mean, and I get there should be some categories for like most creative, where they actually have to look and decide that it's not only about the success of it, but who
Right.
worked hard on this and that and whatever. But if it's best rap album or song of the year, artist of the year, whatever it is, numbers should be the driving
Should be.
factor in my mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, screw them.
Screw 'em.
F the system.
Screw them. I don't know. I there are some good things that come out of that stuff. I would say there's always a lot of like controversies that people finally get to say what they want to say about somebody else, or they come out with a good song that they get to release and put on like kind of like a mini concert for somebody. Like there's some good things that come out of it. But yeah, for the most part, I remember I was super disappointed when Wiz Khalifa didn't get new artist of the year and he lost to Tyler the Creator.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a couple other ones that I'm just like really, really super sour about.
Yeah.
I just feel disappointed. I feel like every time I tune into those damn things, I feel some level of disappointment by the end of it.
It's
Like,
very true.
Lady Gaga won her 47th award instead of this
This-
guy or this
It's
girl.
the same three people. I'm like, really? Come
yeah,
on.
it just gets
Yeah.
old.
It's like, why is Megan Trainor still up there winning? Friggin'? Like, come on, like y'all are still listening to Megan Trainor, right? Nothing against Megan Trainor, but like,
Yeah, who won a bunch of stuff this year that I was like, I didn't even know he was still making music.
Probably freaking.
Khaled or something.
I'm trying to think of someone.
Khaled just tries to sneak his name into every award. He's just like in the background of everything,
Yeah.
yelling something.
Dude, speaking of him, People are really sleeping on Grease. I'm going back to that.
I mean, I told y'all when it first came out, I like wasn't a huge fan of it, and it's honestly it's how I am with probably all music. I need like 3 weeks to like let it come through a playlist. I'm like, oh, okay, there's a vibe there. But like if I just go to it and listen to it isolated, like a lot of songs I don't like. And,
my opinion has always aged very well, because it's been a couple months. I wonder how long it's been, and I'm
like
still
a fine wine. I'm still right about my own opinion. What does that mean? You're just saying, I thought it was great. I still think it was great. So I'm right.
So I'm just, in general, I'm always right.
I was literally correct about what I thought.
This is the Grammys right here. We're just patting ourselves on our own backs.
Okay, now I understand how they're doing things.
I'm right about my own opinion.
Callis should have got it, bro.
I freaking dropped my iPhone mini for the first time yesterday.
Bro, don't they have cases for the Apple Watch?
Okay, buddy.
From your wrist?
Dude,
bro, how do you fucking drop that off the strap, bro? Like,
not only that, but they sent me a package so I can send my old phone in, because these are COVID times, so I didn't actually go to the store this year. And I had to actually pick up my old phone for the first time in a couple weeks. And that thing, like, my arm almost dropped, like, as soon as I picked it up.
Bro, you just got sore immediately?
Felt like a damn brick in my hand.
Yo, start doing curls with it? You're like, all right.
I was like, what is this ancient device?
For like how we looked at the Nokia, just the brick. This is a fat phone. It's just last year's iPhone. Like,
my iPhone 11 feels like the damn Nokia 2000.
This is like freaking the iPhone of my ancestors. Like, what is this?
I was like, how was I holding this thing around for?
What the hell did they even do with those old iPhones? Like, why the hell do they need them?
I think they probably sell them, or at least recycle them for parts, something. Yeah. But I mean, they have to. It's part of the trade-in program, because otherwise, I could just keep my old one and like sell it, and none of it would make sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they do need it.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I was looking at the value of what I would get for my phone, which is a XS. Paid like $1,200 for it. I'll get $300.
Oh yeah, you get nothing. You get nothing.
Dude, I tried. So I had, for the longest time, I got an Apple Watch pretty early. I had the Series 1.
Different one, yeah.
It's still in my drawer. What'd you say?
I said, different one. I was confused.
No, like the actual Apple Watch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for clarity.
I'm done with that joke for a little bit at least.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll get old by the time the next iPhone comes out.
and it'll be even smaller. No, but what was I talking about? Oh, I was trying to trade in my Apple Watch, and they literally said they would give me $30.
Oh, bro!
Like, bro, we'll cover your gas getting here, but that's about the best.
Shit, I might as well just recycle it at this point.
And you got to pay for shipping.
Oh man,
right?
For those reasons, I'm out.
For those reasons, I'm just gonna throw it away.
Yo, bro,
I took a no for me, dog.
I went in. I got an iPad like like a year ago or something like that. And it's like, I don't know, this year is such a blur. But I took in like an old iPad. I had an iPad mini, and I took in like some other stuff. See if I could like trade some of it, like just bring the cost down. So I trade some stuff in. I brought my old ass 6S. And anybody who knows, who's followed this for like more than a month, knows that my 6S is a piece of shit. It's completely shattered. Like you could literally see the electronics on the inside. It's a horrible, horrible looking phone. And I brought it in there, and the guy just kind of
he charged you. He was like, "Bro, we're gonna have to charge you for this shit."
He's like, "Honestly, we're gonna have to hire a crew to like handle this thing safely." But no, man, like he took that thing, he just like looked at it. It was like, you know, like they try to like make you feel good. Like he's kind of looking at both sides, like trying to see if the camera still works, which it didn't.
He's just like, okay.
He's like, okay. And then he's like, honestly, I just don't think we'll offer anything for this. I just like slid it across the table.
He's like, we can recycle this for you if you would like.
Bro, he looked at it all of like 3 seconds, and he's like, honestly, nothing's happening here. Bro, I was like, hey, that was a $900 phone. Like that's not worth 50 something. Like it's still a screen.
A pattern I'm starting to realize when I'm dropping my phone. You know how I said last week that I drop it on average about once a year and it like cracks or something. Is that I'm always trying to multitask, so I just need to stop doing that. One time I was like getting up from the toilet, my friend was calling me, pulling it out of my pocket while wiping and flushing. Don't do this at home.
Bro. Three-hander, baby.
Yo.
And I was flushing with my foot, wiping with my left hand, answering a call with my right hand.
Hell
and
yeah.
I dropped it, and it just this year I'm holding my phone with one hand. I'm on a call. It's on speaker. I'm trying to lock the door with my key with the other hand, and it's just like stop multitasking. I have the reason I like this small one is because I always got a firm grip on this baby. So, it was my first time dropping it, and I don't think I'll drop it very often as long as I stop trying to do too much, being extra.
You got AirPods too, bro. Just put your AirPods on, man.
That's
those
true.
bad
It's
boys.
like I'm just
What are you doing all this
Bro, you
tech?
have it.
careless
an Apple
mistakes.
Watch and AirPods, bro.
That's true. I don't wear the watch anymore though. The Series 1 cannot hang.
Yeah,
I was gonna
bro.
say at this point, like Apple does not want you to like have to have anything in your hands. Like you can literally have your phone in your hand, phone in your pocket. You can have your Apple Watch to see who's calling you, and then you could just tap your AirPods to answer the phone, talk to it. You don't have to do anything with your hands.
Dude,
all
one
this
of the
sweet
most
technology, and we're not using it.
true.
Man.
One
You
of the
can
most
wipe,
magical things.
Flush.
One of the most magical things about the AirPods is that they read your text to you. And I have my Siri set up in a lovely female British voice, and I just never gets old. And like, it's so clear. Like she even reads the emojis. It just sounds so natural, and all I have to say is reply, and I can reply to the message just by speaking. So you are right about that. They're doing as much as they can to get things out of our hands.
Yo,
I think
honestly,
that's
bro,
where it's going. Honestly, like there's going to be a time where we don't have to touch anything. We don't have to put the AirPods in our ear. We don't have to have the phone. It's just going to be on our wrist or something.
We
We're
won't
not
even
gonna
need
have any
hands, bro.
buttons. Not
We
even
just,
a
they can just take
screen.
our hands off, bro.
Straight up.
Yo, we could just have fists.
Bro, we literally are going to start using our hands less and less as time goes on.
Bro, literally in like the new BMWs, they have gesture now where you're just like, you're sitting here driving and you just like twirl your hand like this and it turns up the volume and you twirl it back and it turns it down and like you can like move stuff away from the screen. It's wild. Apparently works
That's
pretty well
crazy.
too. Also, you should get a bidet so you don't have that same issue next time.
Facts.
Yes.
Bro, I'm low key. I'm like,
I would have saved me a hand.
I'm a bro. You could have done a few more things if something was like
I could've swapped
squirting
that out.
shit up your butt. Never had to wipe
Good
again,
night.
That's good. That's going to be on the quotes.
bro.
No.
Yeah,
No context, baby.
bro. And you can choose like heat settings too on some of those things.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I want
You
some
have
warm water.
have a nice warm stream.
Yeah, one of my buddies got one of those pre-COVID, and I was like, "Damn, I'm getting one of those, man. That's just like a power move."
Bro, so
the
he
whole
got it before
toilet-
the toilet paper shortage
Yeah.
happened. Brilliant.
The toilet gate, the toilet paper
Toilet gate.
The thing I don't understand about America is we're the pioneers in so many things, and also we're so behind on other things. Like what?
Yo, honestly, do
Isn't
we
it
just
like-
brag about it? Like, do we just say that we are?
Like, are we
Like, we've been
actually
told
pioneers?
for so long that we're the best that we're like, oh shit, our healthcare actually
Are we
kinda
actually
sucks.
good at anything?
like, oh, bro, we're like 138th in freaking health in the world. And there's not that
Every
many
category.
countries. Bro, we're freaking like 7th of the continents in so many things.
Like, isn't it most of the world has been using bidets for like
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
decades, centuries?
Bro, we
Probably
win
not
in
so.
like we win in like a few things. Like we win in like we have the most prisoners of any continent. Like okay, not continent, country. I know my stuff.
Yeah.
You know
not
what I'm
to,
saying?
yeah, no, yeah, one of those. All right.
Yeah, one of those. I mean, technically, we're on a continent.
And not to get political in any kind of way, but I did see
Yeah.
a map of like countries that have universal health care.
Mhm.
And it's like us and then like these tiny ass islands over here
Yeah,
to like the right, somewhere on the map.
bro. It's the Virgin Islands, which are our islands. Like
Everything else
it's
was the
Hawaii,
same.
bro. Those little islands are Hawaii.
We were the only damn country that was red except for these little spots
Yo.
over here.
To that point, what I've heard is one of the reasons that a lot of economists talk about
Economists
why
are definitely
economists. You know those
economists.
economists, the economist.
Those are the
That's
like economists for cannabis.
Exactly,
Yes.
economists. All they talk about is like wheat stock.
Right.
But anyways, but they talk about because America is so diverse, which is a good thing, it actually makes it really difficult to have a lot of universal stuff because everyone's health, life, where they come from. I mean, they're coming from all over the world. It makes it really challenging. It's one of the reasons why it's taken us so long to do anything socialized. It actually is very difficult here. I think Australia was something similar.
Yeah, that does
Mhm.
make sense to an extent.
Like you have places like Denmark or Norway or something, and they have like universal everything, but literally everyone's the same. There's 99% Viking people there. They're all dealing with the same health issues, the same whatever, and there's
And their
no one coming in.
population's like 5 million.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're super small. Everybody's almost the same. Nobody wants to go from Mexico and Canada and Afghanistan and all those countries to Denmark. Like,
right.
they're going to somewhere that's a little more spacious and it's way more diverse.
Yeah.
There's probably like way more religions here that are practiced.
Oh, for sure.
Than like those smaller countries, but I think we'll get there. We'll have something that is helpful to everybody,
Yeah.
but
I think eventually,
super hard.
I think eventually it won't become a political issue. It'll just be like even we've talked about with AIs, we've talked about with other stuff where it's just like, oh, this is like the only way to do a version of this, and it won't be capitalist versus socialist. It'll be like this is the only option here.
Yeah.
And that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I always am very like it doesn't make sense to me when people compare, these smaller countries where it's not as diverse to like America, where it's literally you can practice whatever religion you want. Even if you wanted to worship Satan, you could do that here. Or you could be from anywhere you want. Like, like you're saying, probably not 99% of the people are all the same in Denmark or Switzerland or whatever it is, but they're pretty close to
Largely,
that, demographic, I guess. But it's hard to compare. But
sure.
I think we're doing pretty good for being as diverse as we can be. I mean, we're like Saudi Arabia has way more money than us, and they just let I would think that having money would associate to like being more diverse or having a better, stronger economy or something like that. But like they just let women drive, and I think that's a pretty big something that kind of puts us ahead of some other people that
Yeah.
What? Say it.
No, we good. Keep going. You're about to say something real vital.
Well, then go ahead, buddy. That's what we're here for.
You're saying something real vital. Go for it. It's just not worth saying.
It made me think of a tweet that was like, I don't know why people wonder why marriages used to last so much more than they do nowadays. It's because like women couldn't even have their own bank account without a husband up until like 1970. That might have something to do with it.
Yo. Well, they couldn't do anything, man. They had no like autonomy in their life.
Like they literally relied on their husbands for so many things, and you wonder why.
And so many of the jobs were like very difficult. I mean, it was industrial, it was work, it was fields, it was whatever. Like it was stuff that not many people were gonna do.
Right.
And so it's like that was the only way to make money was to do those incredibly challenging physical jobs. And so, I mean, it was just a very, very limited time. The other thing to the point of like, we were talking about all the differences between the countries and stuff, is we are still a very young system. I think we forget that. Like if you think about how much you look even like in the Middle East and Europe and stuff, like some of these communities and these countries that have been established for thousands of years of working a certain way that haven't changed that much. And then you look at how quickly, even though it seems like it's freaking snail pace for us here, like when you look at race issues and you look at equality issues and all of these different discrepancies and issues that we're having, compared to time that's moved in other countries, we are still moving forward. It gives me hope. Like we are still moving forward in the right direction, I feel, at a fair pace. Of course, want it to go faster. Like I just want everything to be fixed. But we're a 250-year-old country. That's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up the fact that you used to have to do like really labor intensive jobs to even be able to like support yourself or kind of compare yourself to a man that's doing the same job, right? But now you can have a job that you work at a computer and you can be even more productive than somebody that's in the steel yard or doing lumber or something like that. Like women coding is super good for women, I would say, because they could do like I have to say that coding has more to do with being organized and having to remember things, and women are super organized and they remember a lot of
generally
things,
better at remembering shit. Yeah.
Yeah, more often than not.
And there's still some problems in that. I mean, you hear about women being paid less for the same position
Sure.
as their male coworkers or whatever. But I think it's good that the goal should be equal opportunity.
Right.
That should be the end goal.
Yeah.
So I think we are on the right track. Old
think so.
sport.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
women.
It's
Well, I was
just,
gonna
I
say,
feel like
one
it's,
thing
it's a
that-
matter of time before they take over. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, shut it down.
Hey,
what's-
hey,
one thing-
McAfee.
Yo, hey, McAfee, block that shit.
Shut down the system, baby.
McAfee, shut down the system. Hit that switch. I was gonna say, it's kind of wild how the value of jobs has shifted so dramatically in a matter of, like, let's say, like, I don't know, like 100 years, like not long, where like now doing like physical labor jobs, I would say in a lot of cases make dramatically less than some of the more sustainable like desk jobs. Like, I'm not saying not difficult intellectually, like obviously like doing stock work and coding and all this like tech or whatever, all that stuff is obviously very difficult, but it's not physically demanding. And it's like, now I actually saw the other day, like, is it Charlie D'Amelio? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
The TikToker? They posted that like her first year, she's a number one, I guess, influencer or whatever in the world on there. She got like 100 million followers.
Yeah.
And at 16, she made over $4 million, bro, doing dances
Yep.
back and forth. And I was like, man, like I could go work my ass off mowing, like feel like I'm working hard, mowing lawns, chopping down trees and shit. And like maybe I try to kill it and develop a business and make $100,000 or something. But to make $4 million off an app, dancing a couple times a day. Not saying that she's not, I don't even really know what she does, but it's like,
Yeah.
that's just wild. It's like just crazy how that's flipped. Like every parent that yelled at their kids for playing video games and being on their phone too much is like, your daughter just made $4 million. And I think her sister does it too. They're freaking making just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and now they're on YouTube and everywhere
Ridiculous.
doing their stuff.
Ridiculous. In commercials
I-
and
They're
shit.
not even like hard dances, are they?
They're just fun. It's like that's what's in right now, man. These freaking dances.
It's crazy.
It's such a
All right, I
simple
know I
idea,
asked-
right?
Yeah, I know I asked how well I can sing, but you think I
How
can
good
get pretty
can I
good at
get?
dancing
Bro,
this week.
This might be John's chance to pop, man. I'm saying.
I don't got to be a good dancer, not got to be a good singer. Let me
Yeah.
get on TikTok right now.
Yo,
Dude,
I
bro.
was seeing this interview with Gary Vee and Ryan Tedder, the songwriter One Republic, and they were talking about the influence that TikTok has had, where literally like artists that kind of became irrelevant hopped on there and did it right and kind of popped. Like Jason Derulo started hopping on there, started popping off on TikTok. And then these artists they no longer were making songs for radio. They were no longer making songs for the Grammys. They were like kind of going full circle. They like totally said, like, we are not trying to make the best song. I'm not trying to make the greatest lyrics, the best beat, anything. I am literally trying to make a song for TikTok. Like I'm designing everything about this to be a, like, even like the hook of the song that can be put within 30 seconds. Like all of these things are like strategically placed to be like algorithmically set up for
Right.
TikTok, which is what I Mood, as I don't, is it 24KY something, whatever. That song Mood was made, like the guy literally wrote the song for TikTok
Mhm.
and it blew up on TikTok for that reason. And it's just so wild. Totally different world.
Dude, I learned a crazy thing about TikTok in the earlier days, which it's kind of still their early days, but now they're massive, right? Like number
Yeah.
one app regularly. But their executive team knew that if they wanted to retain their users and keep people coming, especially creators who are creating the best TikToks, that they had to be able to create their own celebrities. So people like Charlie D'Amelio, early on, they were pushing her stuff intentionally so that she would grow and she would become a star, because they knew that if more people saw, hey, like this girl's making these TikToks
I can make it.
for a living, that'll get more people to their platform. And not only that, but it'll get them to stay. And I think that was kind of genius, that they were purposefully creating celebrities to the best of their abilities in order to, as a growth strategy, basically. That's kind of nuts.
That's
It's
wild.
basically like how you have all those like Red Bull athletes and North Face athletes. Like TikTok has their quote unquote athletes, but they're influencers.
Yep.
Bro, and they make, it's just hard for me to fathom how much money you can make doing stuff. We've talked about that a lot. I just can't fathom it.
It's
That's
so weird.
cool for that's
And to like genuinely enjoy it. Like you're just doing fun stuff to fun songs. Like I'm sure you got it. Like it gets tired trying to figure out all the dances, and like maybe it's physically draining, and it's like it's keeping up with the
I
comments.
mean, that
like, all
has
this
to
stuff.
get old, right?
I get it. Like yeah,
Yeah.
any influencer. Like I've talked to some influencers, and they're just like, this is exhausting. There's a lot going on here. And it takes a lot of work to really, even like brand deals, it takes a lot of work to like send the picture that you want to post back to them and make sure it's approved and everything's in the right spot and they think it sounds okay. Like all this stuff, that can be draining. I get it. But even then, that is still to make
the core of it, yeah. It's
to still make hundreds of thousands to
It's a
millions of
hobby.
dollars. It's wild. It's wild.
I saw a tweet. I want to shout out this tweet from @Jared Dicker. What is the last name?
Great name.
He tweets about media and media companies and stuff like that pretty regularly. So his tweets are usually pretty interesting. But he was talking about the subscription media business. You know how a lot of companies and even individuals are turning to subscription for recurring revenue?
Yeah.
Well, he is talking about AOL. And AOL is such a distant company in our minds, right? One of the early internet companies, but they still have 1 to 2 million Americans who are still paying for their services.
what services?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they did like dial-up and God knows what else. And
AIM.
this guy's talking about how the power of subscriptions is that you can have people subscribe at a low annual rate, and then you just kind of hope they forget to cancel it.
Dude.
Yo.
You know what I mean? Like that is most likely the case with AOL, is that there's a bunch of Americans who it's such a low fee that they probably just might have forgotten about it, or they're not really in tune with checking their statements, whatever it is, and they're still
Yo.
paying for freaking AOL dial-up. And AOL's reportedly making around $250 million a year just in revenue. And who's still using AOL, bro? Literally
Imagine
almost
having
nobody.
having that kind of cash to where you don't look at your bank statements at all. You don't ever look at your account balance. You just go on with your daily life. Somebody took out $15 this month, and I don't really care because I have all this money. I don't really care about.
I freaked out
Damn.
because SSFCU took my little power checking fee, and I said, "What's this $20 right here?
Right?
Do it.
The hell is this?"
And that's the unfortunate reality, is that it's probably older folks who
Right.
are not as in
Right.
tune with their banking app, and they don't even remember what the hell they're paying for, and they're kind of being taken advantage of,
Yeah. Well, now there's services now. I've seen ads for them all the time that will like go through and see, like it'll go through your,
Yeah.
I don't know how safe these are, but they'll go through your email and your record and whatever to see where all your, and you'll be like, oh, look, you're spending $490 a year on these subscriptions. You're like, wait, what in the hell is all
Yeah.
these little subscriptions that you've been paying for 6 years, little WordPress sites and hosts and I don't know, stuff like that. They
Something you just
never
forgot you
use.
subscribed to,
I've done that. I had like a website for like some music company I was going to start like 6 years ago. And I was like, I just got charged $120 for it on freaking
for the domain or something.
GoDaddy or whatever. And I was like, what in the world is this?
Dude,
Like,
but it
that's-
goes to show the power of subscriptions, is that
Yeah.
Bro.
people
I
might
I
forget.
started a subscription.
I think that's why people started doing. I mean, not why, but I think a good tactic is with gift cards, because you buy $20 on a gift card, right? And then you spend $19.50. Well, then what are you going to do with that 50 cents? You're going to hold that card in your wallet? Like, no, like most people just kind of put it to the side. Eventually they forget about it. I don't really want to call to find out I have 50 cents on this card. So then they just throw it out. Or even like I've done a couple of times where you just buy the card, you intend to give it as a gift, and then you accidentally just throw it out. And now there's $30 right there. But then those 50 cents that everybody's throwing out, I mean, that adds up every single year, every single card that you're getting. And, these people are just getting free money. Like, that's crazy to me.
That's why I always buy stuff for more than a gift card is. So I use it all up as a discount on what I really want.
There we go.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So like if I got $20 to Orange Leaf, I get $22 worth of stuff. Two out of
Imagine
pocket.
Big ass cup of froyo. Because
Yeah, it's
you
like-
wanna-
No, I get like 3 cups of just Sour Patch Kids. It's just like free candy.
Just put it in a bag and take it home.
So I just like, hey, I brought my own bag. Is that all right?
Dude,
Just put it
even,
on the scale.
even this show, we used to use Anchor, right? Remember that, those days?
Yeah.
Somebody's still paying us $5 a month on there. Probably a family member or something.
Bro,
But,
it's probably a grandparent somewhere. We should let them know.
like, I kind of doubt that they know that. Like,
That's crazy.
I doubt they still find us worth paying the
But
$5.
it's a good example though.
Yeah.
Shit, we need to
Yo,
get some more
shoot.
subscriptions out here.
That's crazy.
Honestly,
I
hit
like
us
once
on Patreon.
about once a month I go to Anchor just to retrieve my $5 and get out of this.
We need that $5.
I'm weak.
If you're
Yo.
listening, we're still making use of it. So shout out to you.
Yeah,
Shout out to you.
yeah. We gotta start a subscription then.
100%. I mean, yeah, we still have one. Go to the link in the description if you want to support.
Sign up for our email list.
That does kind of get me sometimes.
It's on AOL.
We're one of the paid subscribers there.
Go to AOL.com/tilcast.
The dial-up tone just kicks in.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. I like that.
Yeah,
I miss that sound.
Get on when everybody goes to sleep.
Remember that? It just announced everything to the whole room.
Dude, AOL was kind of iconic.
Bro, what's the little? Was that the little running dude, the little yellow running dude?
Yeah.
Oh, that was, yeah, their instant messenger.
Brilliant.
Well, that was like their mascot, man. They had like celebrities and oh, that was Windows 97. When they came out with Windows 97, they had like all the people from Friends like doing a promo for Windows, and it's crazy. Good times back then, man.
The good days. I was about 2 years
Back in
old,
the
but it's
day.
still the good days.
Reminiscing.
on AIM at 2 years old.
Dude,
Yo,
but I mean, look at the premise of AIM, right? Instant messaging. And there's still companies like Discord and Slack who took that and ran with it, and they're like, $1 million companies.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy that I mean, all it's just iterations of the same old shit, basically, making money.
Dude, it's wild. Like a lot of people, I feel like they just like improve on old products. I remember like the old like Palm Pre's and stuff like that, and they had the stylus and the touchscreen just playing Bubble Breaker on there and stuff. And it's like for a long time the stylus was stupid. I think probably until like the Samsung Note kind of brought it back, and you're like, oh, you can actually do some really cool stuff with the stylus. And now all of that, now there's the iPad Pencil or the Apple Pencil and all that stuff. Like they kind of brought it back into the picture that there's other ways to utilize these touchscreens. But it all kind of started back with some of these like 20-year-old phones.
Yep.
It all goes back to caveman writing on the walls, and where was it? Phil?
Venezuela for sure.
Venezuela?
Inventing wheels and eating peppers and shit.
Yeah, bro. They were freaking chomping on jalapenos and chicken legs.
They invented the hot wing or something like that.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear otherwise. I saw the hieroglyphics.
Why is their handwriting built like hieroglyphics, bro?
Yo, honestly, guys. Okay, here's the thing. Can we talk about this
Whose
for a second?
handwriting?
Can we talk about this for a second?
You have shit handwriting, Phil?
Yo, I have the worst. Yo, it legit looks like, like when you're like your 4-year-old's learning to write their alphabet and they don't know which size to make all the letters. That's what mine looks like. Where the little A is like twice as big as the big A, and it doesn't make any sense. That's how I write. But I don't understand. I think here's my
It's got homeschool
idea
for you,
of
boy.
what it is.
You've given this some thought.
I've given this plenty of thought. The reason is I used to have fantastic handwriting, and my mom, my teacher, also said that I had the best handwriting in the family when I was like 8. Two problems though. When I got into like middle school and had to start like writing shit,
You
like
actually had to
actually
start
like,
writing some sentences.
start like writing like complete sentences, like not stop halfway. I really got into trouble because I started just writing all wonky.
Yeah.
Problem number 2, I'm left-handed, so like I can't see what I'm writing as I'm writing it. You know what I'm saying? So like as I'm writing, like think about it. Those of y'all who are right-handed who don't know what I'm talking about, how hard that is, like put your hand on the table in a pencil-like position and understand that as I'm writing to the right, I forget everything that's on the other side of my damn hand.
Not only that, but it's smeared.
Oh yeah, and
Just
I
write with your right hand.
the whole freaking bottom of
Yeah, bro,
my
just
palm.
use your other hand.
Hey,
Oh, you got 2 hands for a reason.
Jeez. I'll
You're
teach
being
you
a
some
little bit-
multitasking hand.
being a little bit ridiculous and a little abrasive over there. I feel a little attacked.
Just put the pen in your other hand and then Just put it on the piece of paper and then
Yo,
just
that's
start
what
writing.
that's what my dad kept telling me. I had to do fucking EMDR on that shit because
Bro,
he kept trying to make me right-handed.
We're bringing out his traumas, bro.
Bro, because like that's why I had to learn how to play guitar right-handed because I kept flipping over my dad's guitar and he's like, "No, son," and then then I had to flip over the guitar and do it on the other side. But I learned and I healed, and I'm happier for it.
Yeah, no, that's just.
But yeah,
you are who you are because of it.
but that's a struggle, man. Like,
What if you're not even? What if you're not even left-handed based on how ugly you write? Like, what if you really did start writing with your right hand and you're just naturally really good writer with your right hand, and now you figured out you're a right-hander?
I can't even hold the pencil in my right hand.
Bro, I broke
Just
my
falls
right
out.
arm. I broke my right arm one time. Had to write for 2 weeks, but with my left hand. And
Imagine like just not knowing what to do with your other hand, and your one good hand knows how to do everything,
Bro,
and your
quite
other one is
literally-
just basically just a pile of nothing that it can't do anything besides push a button.
that's how my
maybe-
left hand feels.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I feel like I could write better backwards with my right hand than I could forwards.
What?
Like, I don't know what that means, but like I feel like I don't know. I feel like it could just go better the other way.
It sounded good in theory.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That all that to say that I genuinely I've been trying to work on it the few times that I do write. Like if I'm writing someone a card, I'm gonna make an attempt so you can like read my B's, even though they kind of look like Q's or something. But I put in an effort, but it looks bad, man. It looks really bad. I feel
I mean,
Just
the
send them a
good
text
news
message.
is, I feel like handwriting is going to be extinct eventually.
bro. Why do
Extinct.
we still value
Handwriting is going extinct.
Why in an age of convenience do we still value exerted effort for no reason? Interesting
Well, because
question.
we have to type. Those are letters.
We're just finding more convenient
Why-
ways to do old things.
I know, but why is handwritten, hand sewn, hand whatever like over like ooh so special?
Because it's more effort. You have
I know,
to
but that's what I'm
get
saying.
out a piece
Why?
of paper.
But it's unneeded effort. So
Thoughtful.
here's basically what I'm saying, and I'm not even like against it. I'm just like I'm thinking out loud. Like
Right.
I'm not anti-handwriting.
You-
That's all
I
I'm
love
saying.
I love you.
You do tend to do that a lot.
I love you. I love you so much that I wasted time that I could have spent with you writing on something so that you can't read because I have horrible handwriting. Interesting.
That is a good thought. I like that actually.
I do like trying to handwrite stuff though because I do feel like it's special, but I don't understand why I do.
I don't. The only time I write that I can think of is my signature. You know.
I mean, is it the same thing as saying like instead of watching a movie like a war movie, wouldn't it be easier to just like go to war and watch a war?
Mm.
You know.
I was waiting for that.
like I'm basically just saying like, hey, I'm gonna go to war because I feel like that's like just more real when I could just watch it on TV. That's a horrible example. That's an absolutely awful
I don't know if
example.
I've ever heard a good analogy come out of your mouth. Now that I think about it.
But you do give a very good try. You try really hard. And I like that. I appreciate that about you.
Interesting.
No matter how bad your analogies are or your handwriting, I do appreciate that you do put in the effort. That's what you're getting out of it, buddy.
See,
that's
point.
right there is what you're getting out
That's
of it.
my point. See, you appreciate the effort. I try to talk. Goodly.
No, yeah, and I do appreciate that. A lot of people do appreciate your quotes. They might be the sole reason now they're still tuning in. I can't think of anything else.
for the 3 Instagram slides once a week.
Yes.
Bro, we need to get some good content in
That's
here.
pretty much what every content is that you film for 3 hours and you get a 30-minute clip.
It's very true. That's what was so hard about like trying to do YouTube. It's like, okay, I'm going to go record all day for 7 hours, edit it for another 3 for this 15-minute clip that 28 people will watch. I'm like, oh shit.
You gotta find a good rhythm, bro.
Bro, and I started saying like, oh, they changed the algorithm. They're like, oh, you need 1,000 hours of watch time to start monetizing. I looked at it and it was like 142 over my 70 videos. Oh, no, 142 minutes, granted. And I was like, this is not good. My watch time retention is at like 4%. Like people look at the thumbnail while it's loading and then exit out. It's not good.
Yeah, it might take a little bit of time.
I could probably improve on my content.
Oh man.
But again, the effort
But
is there, buddy.
those 28 people, which are most likely just all of my browser tabs at the top here, I think they appreciate the effort.
Oh my god.
Good times.
Hey man, that's how everyone started. It's all about the perception.
Yeah. So disappointed.
Anyways, it's been kind of real.
It's been kind of real.
It's been kind of real.
Any final thoughts?
Anybody consuming anything besides turkey this week?
Yo, I had found a song from an artist that I really liked, and then I went back to try to go listen to it like 2 days after to figure out who it was, and it wasn't in my freaking like searched or whatever when I had searched for it on my phone, and I was pissed. Now I can't think of who it was, and I checked the charts, and he's not on the charts, but it was a great song. Try to find that song if you can.
You found a hidden gem?
I found a hidden gem, bro, from like it was a cool like kind of lo-fi hip hop dude, but just the beat was really unique. So search for that song. And,
yeah. When you said search for that song, I was like, all right.
So I left you a few keywords in there. You can advance search on Google, see what pops up.
See what you can come up
with. Have you ever
with.
done that? Just like put like you have like this thought, but it's not a fully thought out thought that you got from a song, whatever. You just put like random like green hat, black bird or some shit, and it comes up with exactly what you were looking for.
Bro.
I do that to find memes sometimes. Like, how memes don't really have names. You just got to look up like
what
like GIFs or stuff or something.
Like you just got to like whatever you can think of.
Bro, and sometimes you got to look up like weird stuff. You're like frog squirts mouth yellow breast, and you're like, oh wait,
it's a whole lot of weird shit coming up.
Google starts going crazy and blocking me and like freezing my accounts and stuff.
You forgot to add the word meme at the end. That was the
meme. Yeah, sorry. Frog squirts meme.
Yes.
Let me put this on incognito. Just for fun.
Oh god, bro! What if that was just like some like spoof that someone did to make us feel better about ourselves? Like, there's nothing more private about it, but there's just the whole group at Google who's just like, interesting. Yeah, people search on here.
They just fucking came out with something like some article that Google's getting sued because you can actually see you on the incognitos. Like they were monitoring the traffic on the incognitos.
Dude, incognito doesn't do shit except tell your browser to not save your history.
Cache
That's all
it,
it does.
yeah.
Literally, your internet provider can still see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like really nothing's hidden. Even Google, if you're using Google Chrome, can still see it. It's just not saving it, making it public. So keep that in mind, people.
Yeah.
Shit!
Watch out before you start searching for teriyaki poppy.
On my freaking meme.
Make sure you add meme at the end. That's all I'm saying.
Gotta go through all those frog memes real quick.
I've been watching The Queen's Gambit.
We just finished it. Fantastic show.
I'm on like episode 5 or some shit, but I think there's only 7.
Yeah,
but it's really good, man.
It is really good.
Makes you appreciate chess, and I like how it also. Well, for one, the main character's a female, which is cool. I feel like chess is kind of like a nerdy male geek dominated sport.
That's kind of what it's about, I guess, to some extent, right?
So it's more than just a chess show, because that obviously sounds pretty boring. It actually has a very intriguing storyline to go along with it. So that show is just well made. And then song wise, I'm appreciating Cabin Fever by Jaden. Because, and I honestly, it's from his latest project, and I was sleeping on it when the album came out, but he did an acoustic video on YouTube, like performing it in like the middle of he's like in the middle of nowhere, honestly, just like recording an acoustic version of the song, and I was like, this is a good ass song.
Yo,
it's like, it makes you appreciate it more. So if anything, go watch the acoustic version. But it made me like the song, and now I'm just playing it on repeat.
Yeah. Sure.
Shout out to Jaden and the Queen's Gambit. Boom.
He's an artist for sure. He's a very 100%. Creative guy.
Yeah.
Like, not even because he's Will Smith's son or whatever his wife's name's Jaden Smith. No, that's not her name. Jada Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just really creative. Cool guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Wish I could meet him.
I'm like a new super fan of him, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till he's on Joe Rogan.
It's kind of weird how, not to like keep going into something else, but like how kind of
go ahead.
Like underrated.
Snowballing off of that.
Yeah, snowballing off that real quick. How like underrated he kind of is. Like he's a great artist. But you like ever hear him. He's not ever really on the charts. Like, it's kind of interesting how big their family is, how big of a name he is, how talented he is. And you just never actually, you have to like be the person that knows about him. Like, we know about him, so we go search up his stuff. But like, otherwise, you'll never hear about him.
That's true.
I mean, to some extent, obviously.
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying he's just underrated for sure. Underrated.
I think that's why I appreciate him, which I said this a few episodes ago, but he's intentionally kind of outside of the box in his style and his approach. He could easily be more of like what's expected of him in terms of like pop music and whatever else, but I like that he's being himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a fan of him.
Kind of makes me think of like Miley Cyrus. She is definitely out there
Nowadays,
but
yeah.
that's kind of like herself, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
Good example. Best thing she ever did was ditch Hannah Montana.
Bro.
Also Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
That's another good
Shia
example.
LaBeouf. The guy's pretty out there, but he's pretty damn artistic.
That's very true.
He's doing some cool shit too.
Yeah, that's very true.
Another guy I'm a big fan of.
Also, Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Guy's out there too.
Also,
y'all ever heard of Scientology?
Also for Lil Nas X. Shouts to
honestly, that's
Hillary.
a good one too. Like honestly, you got a point.
Bro, he would just release like a Christmas song or something. Holidays.
Yeah, he's willing to be very different. Like in his.
He don't care.
He don't care, bro. He's just himself.
Just himself riding on a horse.
Must be that California air, buddy.
It's that Gucci.
Let's wrap it up. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back next Tuesday. As always, if you have time, leave us a little 5-star rating in the podcast app. A little thumbs up on YouTube. A little clicky on the subscribe button. A little 1-2 over on that notification button so you can get notifications. A little pow over here, over there. And we'll be back next week. We out.
Filthy.
Fuego.
30. Bang.
Gang.
Bang outside.